Good day, folks. This is Judy at Green Pastures Farm, coming to you on a beautiful day in April. We're at the first week of April, and the grass is really starting to take off now. We've got a cold day, cooler anyway. Got down to 29 night before last. I think last night was in the 30s, but we're starting to see some of the 50s, and they're even saying by Tuesday, this is the weekend, this coming week we're going to see something in the 80s. So boy, this grass is really going to take off. This is all cool season grasses we're looking at here. This is a fescue orchard grass. You've got some bluegrass. Of course, there's lots of clovers in it. See the clover here. And this is the area that we had the cattle in 6 weeks ago. So we left this farm about the middle of February, and yeah, it's been 6 weeks. So it's unbelievable what it looks like. We chewed this up pretty good. We took the stockpile off in 2 different grazing passes, and then we had some 2-year-old hay stored up at the top of the hill, and a few bales of 1-year-old hay. Before we left the farm, we unrolled it on here, and it was wet. I mean, it was wet. But thank goodness we had the Judy bale unroll. We didn't leave any ruts out here. And folks, I'm not going to, but you can drive around and look at people that fed with their big tractors, and it sure doesn't look like this. Their pastures, you have to get a disc to them. You have to get a disc out there and disc those huge ruts in, because you're not going to be able to get across the pastures. That's not good on the soil life. You're compacting your soil, putting a big tractor like that out on the soft ground. And that little bale unroller, and we fed 292 head over here. That's when the bulls were still in the herd. And it looks like this in 6 weeks. But you know, we're approaching that spring flush now. I mean, things are really starting to crank, and we're going to have a cattle drive in the morning. We're heading. We still got to cover 7 farms before we get here. So we're going to be cranking. We're going to be giving them bigger areas, what we call basically flash grazing, just taking a bite and leaving, because we need to be on this. Folks, this fescue is some of these leaves, see, look at the points on them. See how they come out to a point? That plant is ready to be grazed. It's probably 9 inches. See, there's my hand. It's clear up there to my watch. So that's 9 inches. What's amazing though is when you look at that. When you pull the manure back, I'll just dig down in there. Oh man, God, those are some healthy looking worms. Sorry guys, I'll put you back in a minute. Man, see those good dark ones. Those are breeders. Okay. I couldn't believe when I came over here, I had to kind of look around to find a manure pile. These worms, anytime you uncover them, folks, like that, put the manure back on top of them. You know, they're doing a service for you. Don't leave their little heads shining. Earthworms can't take sunlight. So if you pull a manure pile back to look at them, put it back. That's their home down there, and they're doing you some serious work. I mean, look at the clover and the grasses growing right next to them. That's not a coincidence. That's because the earthworms are breaking all this stuff down that the cows left behind, 45 days ago. Right here, I put a glove on this one. I wanted to show you what's under it. If they're still there, look at this. Yep, there's still one. I pulled this up a while ago, and there must have been 20 of them. Golly, look at those big old worms. Yeah, look at that. Buttes. Those are buttes. Again, you know, the earthworms. Oh, there's one I left out. Get underneath there, guy. Get a little head under there. The earthworms, one earthworm lives 7 years. And in his lifespan, he can produce 1.2 million worms. Okay, that's huge, folks. That's how you get all this carbon broke down as worms. Oh, this looks, yeah, golly. I just can't believe there's still little remnants of hay in here. There won't be in another 30 days. It's going to be gone. There's a shotgun plug. Pick that up. Don't want a cow eating that. But we're going to be really careful here, folks. This is the critical time of the year where you can lose your grass. What I mean by that is it can get away from you. It gets so mature, it's like making your cows eat trees. And the sole purpose of a plant, I think I mentioned this before, is to produce a seed head so that it can survive and be around next year. And you as a grazer, oh my God, look at that. Whoa. Hit the mega on that one. Wow. Beautiful. That was just a little bitty turd. Put your back, turd. There you go. Sorry about that, worms. So the sole purpose of a grass plant is to put on a seed head to survive. Well, what's a grass plant do when it's stressed? What I mean by that is if you come in early and graze it down too short and you stress the plant, what's it do? I tell you what it does. It puts on a seed head because it wants to survive. That's what a plant's wanting to do, is to make sure it's around next year, to have children, so to speak, or the parent plant survives and it wants to put out seed. Well, once it puts out seed, it stops putting out leaves. Folks, its job is done. We need these. We need these leaves to put on valuable weight on our livestock, whether it's sheep, goats, or cattle. And this is what we eat because that's turned into meat. All complements of the sunlight, the animals, and your management. Okay? It's all just natural. It's been happening for thousands of years. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Look at that. There's orchard grass coming up in the middle of fescue and clover. And I look back here. Where's it at? Here we go. This is all bluegrass coming up. Now, bluegrass is a good grass early in the spring, and then it kind of falls on its face when it sees a lot of heat. But again, it's another species of grass that fills in an empty spot in your grazing. So as a grazer, you want as many different grass species as you can to complement each growing season, okay? It gets hot, you're going to want some warm season grasses in there. My golly, here's some brome right there. Okay, we got brome, we got orchard grass, we got bluegrass, and right down this hill here are some great big clumps of eastern gamma that'll be showing up about the 1st of May. So we're a month off from that, but they're in there. I don't know how they got there, but there's probably 10 or 15 plants of eastern gamma down there, and I'm excited to have them in there. Maybe they'll keep spreading, especially if I help them out by putting eastern gamma grass seed in my cow mineral. That's definitely on the list to try, see if we can get some more going that way as well. Boy, I bet this one's got something underneath it. Look at the little clover plants coming off of there. Oh my God, look at that, folks. Whoa. Those are granddaddies. Those are the children makers. Isn't that awesome? See that mucus on their skin? That's why they can't take sunlight. You gotta cover them up. Get that covered up. Don't leave it open. But man, we don't sow any clover anymore. We haven't for 14 years. We've got clover. It's all over here. People say, well, you got to sow it, Greg. You won't have clover. No, you're going to have clover. You know, and everybody's cussing the fescue. Folks, look at this sward right here. You've got bluegrass, you've got clover, you've got fescue, you've got orchard grass. It's not a solid stand of fescue. And this is Kentucky 31, but people say, well, fescue will take over and nothing else will grow in it. That's a bunch of bull malarkey. It is. I mean, look at this. This is fescue. Look what's growing in it. Everything. And you know how it's doing this? Management. So we put animal density on it. We beat it up. And then we left. We left. And all this clover seed was deposited last fall when we let our plants get mature. So your clover puts on a really good hard seed in the fall. And if you have a long enough recovery period, this clover has a chance to go to seed, and then all that comes back the following year because the cows trample that seed on the ground and it comes up. You don't need to go bankrupting yourself buying all this seed. Look at this. I mean, I can't take a step out here. There's clover. Some people are freaking out. Oh, Greg's got too much clover now. He's going to bloat. No, he's not. Since I've been doing mob grazing, folks, I've never bloated an animal. And that's because I move twice a day, super high selection. I'm not leaving them on a solid stand of clover. And this is not solid clover. It's got everything else in it. Boy, if I was a cow, I'd be in heaven right here. Folks, we're not going to be here for another 2 weeks. And so this grass is absolutely going to take off. And clover, it's going to be probably, oh shoot, 8-9 inches tall the clover will be when we get over here. So a cow can only, there's been some studies done, and I don't know who counted the bites, but they say a cow can only take about 40,000 bites a day. Well, if that cow doesn't get full in those 40,000 bites, she can't take another bite. That's it. She's used up all of her energy. That's what she takes. But here's the advantage of giving a cow a full bite full. If a cow can reach out and get a full bite full, well, maybe she only takes 20,000 bites. She lays down, she ruminates, digests that grass, her multiple stomachs do. By gosh, she's up grazing again. Okay? She's up grazing again. Putting more fuel in her gut, and then she lays down and ruminates again. What's she doing? She's putting on weight. She's producing milk. She's getting fat. She needs to be getting fat because she's going to be calving. I'm going to pull this one back. Man, those worms have just completely dissected that one. Well, there's one left. They went through. That's why I can't find any manure pads. They've turned that one into soil. That is so cool. And the grasses around are going to, they're sucking up those nutrients. Sucking them up. Yeah, gosh, this is beautiful. It's nice to be able to walk through something like this after you went through a hard winter, and nature pays you back. It's like, you know what, Greg, you made it through the winter. Now we're going to give you this beautiful green grass to graze until fall. And then if you grow it right, you'll have stuff to graze through the winter as well. Won't be quite this green, but it's going to be pretty good feed. So we've got, there's about 340 acres on this farm. It looks kind of like this. And there's some brush and timber on it. And we don't let the cattle get down in the timber. For most of the timber's fenced off because this is hunters. Some of this is hunting land. And, we tell the guys, we're not going to go down in your woods and make it look like a outdoor barn. We're going to leave that for the turkeys and the deer. But where you see the turkeys and the deer at? Right on the edge of all this green grass. So they're out there flipping these cow pads. The turkeys are. So we have got a mega bunch of turkeys now because we've got really healthy soil. And they're flipping these cow pads. And guess what they're eating when they flip them? Well, let's see if we can find out. Oh, oh boy, that was a night crawler. That was a big one, man. He went down that hole right there. That's all earthworm turds, folks. Fresh ones. Big old earthworm turds. The pH of an earthworm turd is what? You're right, 7. Perfect. Somebody knew what they were doing. Yeah. Folks, everywhere you go around here, you can't uncover manure without finding those guys. They're just working for me. There you go. I'm sorry, buddy. But we're gonna keep rotating the animals coming this way, and we're gonna try and keep the seed head off. as much of it as we can. I know we're not going to get it all. You can't get it all. You can't graze every single piece of it and keep the seed heads off. But if you flash graze around your farm, you might be able to get 60–70% of them, and that's growing more blades of grass into May, June, and the first week of July, and you've got some cool season grasses kicking in. And here in Missouri, our clovers, they seem like they do pretty well in the summer, especially the whites. And then the Korean Lespedeza kicks in. We've got a lot of Korean Lespedeza, and that's just a native that comes up every year. We don't have to seed it. It's been here for over 100 years, or heck, longer than that. The old timers called it the poor man's alfalfa. In other words, Korean Lespedeza will grow on land that's not suitable for alfalfa. It can take some acidity in the soil. It can take poor land, and by golly, it'll grow. So, yeah, check out Korean Lespedeza. Oh, and the seed, it's not that expensive. 2 pounds per acre. Just you can get it started. Look in your area. Make sure it's adapted to your area before you go out and buy a bag of it. Probably wouldn't want to seed it in, someplace arid where you don't get any rain. Oh, there's the geese back. I've got geese out there on that field over there. I like seeing the geese out on the fields. There's a pair of them. They always seem to nest in these ponds around here. Just another critter. I like critters. Yeah, this is just heavenly. Folks, I'm going to sign off. For you all new to the channel, welcome. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button on the way out, and we're going to keep covering this spring flush. I'll show you step by step as we progress towards summer, kind of how we're managing our pastures, and we're going to kind of go from that. And check out our website. There is an announcement there on our grazing school. We have moved it to September, and I'm just gonna make a small video just to let everybody know. And we've got 2 schools now scheduled for September, so that's going to be on our website, and we got to get the payment buttons up and running right. But just want to let everybody know about that. And folks, just keep your chin up, stay safe, stay out of large crowds. This virus thing, we're in the middle of that right now, and we're going to get through it just fine. But you've got to use some common sense. Don't go around large crowds. I think that's just something you shouldn't be doing. And yeah, read a good book, go out and take a walk, go out and spend some time with your livestock, and do something positive today. And that's what I'm going to end up with, folks. Everyone have a great day, and this is Judy signing off.